Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Fruitvale Station, which was shown at the CineStar movie theaters at Potsdamer Platz. The film was directed by and also written by Ryan Coogler, which also marked his 2013 directorial debut, and it was produced by Nina Yang Bon Jovi and Forrest Whitaker, and it stars Michael B. Jordan, Melanie Diaz, Octavia Spencer, and Chad Michael Murray. Now, this was a film that I was anticipating so much. This was definitely one of my most anticipated films of all time because, well, I've heard a lot of very positive things about it. And the fact that this was based on true events, most specifically the shooting that occurred in Fruitvale Station, which occurred in New Year's 2009, I have to say was definitely going to be worth a watch for me. And I also watched Tony Whatley II's review, aka the Black Critic Guy's review, of this film in particular. He was very direct and he was very honest with his opinions in terms of this film and of the matter at hand. And I have to really say that this film definitely, well, shook me as a person. It definitely made me think, not just as an American citizen, but also as a person as a whole. And I know you're watching this, Tony. I really know that you're watching this video. I'm definitely feeling the same way as you did in your review of Fruitvale Station. Yeah, I am really pissed at what happened to this young man. Oscar B. Grant III lost his life all because of one stupid decision by one of the members of the BART police force. Yeah, that was just really shocking. Granted, I wasn't there, but believe me, if I would have been there, I would have really gone out of my way to stop it. I would have really yelled at the police even if it cost my life. So yeah, he was dead for nothing. Oscar Grant III ended up being dead for nothing. He was an innocent man. And the fact that he ended up being killed by a member of the police force is just terrifying. More than terrifying, it was nerve-wracking. And the fact that the cop ended up being released after 11 months, total bullshit. That is just beyond bullshit. He could have just rotted in prison for eternity. Yeah, I know. I sound very ruthless right now, but the fact that one innocent's life was lost, all because of a very stupid decision of one of the members of the police force, wow, wow. It's just too much just to think about. And why did they get caught for? Just because they dress gangsta? Yeah, I do agree with what you said, Tony. They basically dress that way to look tough. So yeah, enough of my rambling for now. So yes, the story of this fraction of life. I wouldn't really call this a film because it would be an understatement. This is basically real life that is shown to us, the public. And basically, the story of this, you know what you can expect from a movie that's based on a true story. I'm actually very happy that Mr. Coogler went out of his way to put as much truth, honesty, and reality into this film This was an honest film that told the final hours of one Oscar Grant III. It's extremely something that was very worthwhile for me. And the fact that there was a lot of crap happening to him in this movie definitely made me empathize with him. Granted, I may be currently 22 years old. I did work back then in channel fix, but it wasn't really for a long time. I'm still studying. But yeah, it's safe to say that even though I'm currently 22, I'm nowhere in his shoes. But let's just say that this fraction of life made me feel of what it was like in um, Oscar Grant III's shoes, of the hardships that he faced, of the difficulties he felt when being a father at a very young age, of having his duty as a father, yet also a duty as a family man and a son and someone who's really struggling. I definitely really felt at just how hard his life was. And it was really fascinating, but also frightening considering the horrible events that happened. This film, or yeah, this movie definitely definitely went out of its way to show what discrimination truly sounds and feels like. It's very ugly, and it doesn't hold back on it. It never holds back. So yeah, everything about this film in terms of the story definitely felt very engaging, and it was very real. And it didn't try to demonize other characters, or excuse me, other people. It didn't try to make other people look like saints. Granted, yes, the members of the BART police force, excuse me, one of them was quite stupid enough, was extremely stupid to have taken his life, to have taken Oscar's life away. So yeah, the story, yes, was extremely fascinating, albeit frightening, and a great kudos to Mr. Coogler for giving as much attention, care, and respect into something as controversial and shocking as the shooting that occurred 5 years ago. Now, in terms of the cinematography, I have to say it's actually very solid all around. Sure, at times the shaky cam movements will have to be in, well, it's an acquired taste. It's basically an acquired taste. The shaky cam movements are always an acquired taste. But other than that, I thought the cinematography all around was actually very solid. Now, the characters don't really feel like just characters. They're real people. Oscar B. Grant III is a man who had a lot of hardships. And when I saw that dog being run over by someone who was speeding, I was shocked. I was definitely just shocked. And just seeing Oscar going to the dog and trying to see if he's still alive and finding out that there's no hope was actually very heartbreaking. It's kind of foreshadowing of what's going to happen to him. In all respects, yeah, it definitely foreshadowed it. And we do see a flashback of what it was like when he was in prison. It was definitely a horrible time. He was definitely being made fun of, and it was not a very happy place. He really cared for his girlfriend, his daughter, his mom, his family in general. He cared about the friends around him too. But lest I forget, he's also a human being. He makes mistakes. He does a lot of fucked up shit in the past. But I do see that he's trying as much as he can to basically own up to it and make things right in the world again, especially for the people that he truly loves. So, yeah, basically, reviewing this film without spoiling it is definitely the hardest task with me as a reviewer. But it's easy to say that once you watch the ending, you will definitely be in tears. You will definitely well up. You would really want to scream in agony after what happened. So yeah, Oscar B. Grant III was a man who was really caring, and he really was a great role model. It was just too sad that his life ended up being cut too short. And Sofina, I thought was great as well. She is someone who is trying to be as firm as possible, as intelligent and very straight minded as possible. And she tries to help Oscar, but at times she doesn't really understand what's up with him, what's going on with him as a person, and she kind of feels rather doubtful of whether he'll be a good person or not. And it's very safe to say that I was also rooting for her because I know that, yeah, she was more than just a character. She was a real life person. She really cared for Oscar, body and soul. She was also concerned for him. The same thing can be said about his mother. The scene between Oscar and his mother was definitely so touching. It really hit me in the heart right away. And his mother definitely is another great role model. She basically is the one who tries to show Oscar the straight and narrow. She cares for him. She wants him to do the right thing in life. She doesn't want him to screw up. And yeah, she's definitely that fantastic as a character and also as a person as well. So yeah, basically the characters in this film are more than just characters. They're real life people who have made mistakes, made a lot of crappy decisions, but are trying to own up to it as much as possible. What more can I say about the acting? It's very stellar all around. Michael B. Jordan was very spot on in his performance as Oscar Grant III, to the point where I forget that Michael B. Jordan was playing him, but was him. He was totally him incarnate. He was basically Oscar Grant III in the flesh. I definitely believed every moment that he was in. Every scene that he acted in was extremely believable. And Melanie Diaz as Sofina, fantastic. The same thing can be said about Octavia Spencer and also Chad Michael Murray as one of the Bart cops. Yeah, for those of you not in the know, Chad Michael Murray during his earlier years, mainly from the early 2000s, was basically well known for playing a lot of cute guy, Prince Charming, teen heartthrob roles in a lot of teen dramas and teen comedies, mostly teen comedies like Freaky Friday, where he played bad boy Jake, and Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff, where he played a jock. I thought that his performance as one of the BART police officers was just astonishing. I thought he was just wow. This is one of those moments where I definitely have to say that he went out of his teen heartthrob phase and went for something a lot more dramatic. Granted, I haven't really seen a lot of Chad Michael Murray films aside from Freaky Friday and A Cinderella Story, but it's very easy for me to say that this is definitely a film that, even though his role was quite minute, this is definitely one of his roles that was able to take me seriously, and this was one of those roles that was very serious. So, yeah, definitely a huge kudos to all of the actors in this film for giving such very believable and very real portrayals of these people. The music is very limited. There are times that rap music is heard, even though I myself am not really a huge rap fan. And at times there are moments in which the music has this eerie stillness. I thought the rap music was able to add the environment that Oscar grew up in, and I thought the stillness really took me seriously. It definitely took me seriously. So overall, what more can I say about this film? This was able to not only take me seriously as a person, but has made me feel of what it was like in an innocent's shoes, who lost his life so prematurely. And believe me when I say this, after the film was done, I basically, well, figuratively sprinted home just to make this review. Yeah, that's how much I was really anticipating for this review to be posted. And it's very safe to say that this film was more than just excellent. It was a masterpiece for me. And it really deserved its huge share of awards. But I have one question. Why wasn't this film picked up for the Academy Awards? Just why? Why? Granted, I am glad that 12 Years a Slave won, but why not this film? This could have had a surefire shot in winning the Academy Awards. I guess it's just politics, right? I guess it's just politics. I'm sure that if this film would have been picked up by the judges themselves, this film would have really blew all the other films out of the water. This would have won a lot of things. Granted, Gravity has won 7 Oscars, but I'm sure that this film would have won a lot more. Well, not really 7, but I would probably say this film would have won at least, let's say, 5 Oscars. Yeah, I'm sure, but enough of my ranting. Overall, you know what I'm going to give this movie. A 5 out of 5 stars. This is definitely worth your time. This is more than just worth your time. This film will make you think, more than just make you think, but will make you empathize of what it was like in Oscar Grant III's final days on Earth, and it'll make you question yourself of why these things keep on happening, why these things couldn't have been stopped. But it's safe to say that this film is excellent. So yeah, it really puzzles me that there's so much discrimination in this world. Really, it's just wow. Sometimes I really cannot believe that there'll be someone that'll just call someone who dresses so differently or acts so differently just so much flack, or give that person so much crap, so much flack just for what? Just for being different? Gee, yeah, that's just very, very something. The fact that something like this happened to someone at only 22 years old, was extremely shocking. Why? Just because he's black, he dresses gangsta, he talks a lot differently than a lot of normal people do. That's the reason why you want all of those people out of the train? Just because of that? Wow. So much for a police force. But yeah, it's very easy to say that the police force should really do a favor and simply protect their country, not discriminate. That's all I can really give because, yeah, you just really need to watch the film for yourself. Make your own conclusions as you will. But it's very safe to say that discrimination definitely has to be stopped. I don't want to be one of those preachers in the streets crying out loud and shouting my head off because that'll do no good. But if you really want discrimination to stop, do yourself a favor. Just simply think before you act. And if ever you see someone dressing very funnily or talking like how you're not so used to hear people talking, just deal with it. That's who they are as people. We people are different. So, yeah, just be a lot more open-minded. Don't let discrimination run your life. It could kill others, especially you. Yeah. In terms of this film, I highly suggest that you go check this out. You won't be disappointed. There's a lot of stellar performances, but more than anything, this will make you think and definitely think about what you truly feel like as a person after watching this film and after thinking to yourself, was it worth it? Was it worth having one's life being lost just because of some stupid decision that one of the police force made? No, it wasn't worth it at all. So yeah, go ahead and watch it. You won't be disappointed. Well, that's all for now. I know I've been quite down and very, well, kind of pissed, but in a very empowering way after watching this film. So yeah, this definitely had that effect on me after watching something like Fruitvale Station. And I'm still absolutely befuddled of why this didn't get nominated for an Oscar. Yeah. So tune in next week as I review Donizetti's L'Elisir d'Amore. I know I haven't really been doing a lot of movie reviews as of late, but do expect an opera review within the next weekend. I hope there's still tickets available. So until then, this is Tony signing off and wishing you all a good night, and thank you for watching.